recordings?
We have started.
There, you can listen to,
Really?
they post them.
Where?
Meeting is being posted. Sorry.
What is
Yes.
it called?
It's posted on the website.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's on YouTube. You can go watch it on YouTube.
Yep.
So, this
make
is
it
the
interesting.
Bikeways meeting of November 19th. Members present, we have Fran and
Paul.
Fred, Jim,
Diego.
And you.
and Charlie. And this meeting is being recorded. And Alan, all right,
Oh my
man.
God. I didn't know you were in the country.
Did you fly back to come to this meeting?
I haven't moved to Europe yet. I just
yeah,
flew out
yeah,
to Miami.
Yeah.
Not to
Well,
rub it in, but
glad you're
we're not on
here.
camera yet, right?
So
Yes,
Alan,
we are.
yeah.
Oh, we are.
Sorry, we just got started. That's all right.
So, does somebody wanna, we're gonna review the minutes of the old meeting
Yeah, I approve.
and approve?
Second.
Okay, that's great. So we're gonna move on to, old business. And, we have that letter that we would, that we're thinking of sending to Link and then set up a little meeting with him after I guess after we send it to him, right, Fran?
Yeah.
So he can have a chance to think about it or whatever, and then we have a little meeting. Him
and the head of the water department.
Yes, okay, yeah, that good idea, okay.
Is this about having the path go straight where it curves?
Yes.
Yeah, well, yes. I wrote a thing, and I think people had a chance to put their comments in it, and so I think we could just get around and send that, right, Fran?
Yeah, but include the map that I sent you too.
Yes, yeah, I got that map, and so I'll dig around for that. If I need some help, I'll give you a call. But I think I have that map,
Okay.
and
shared with the group?
we'll send it. And Jim, you made a comment about. You said you joined the conversation late. Yeah, but that's always okay. I mean, we'd really rather have your thoughts.
Okay.
I'll answer back.
Okay.
And give my 2 cents, which means nothing either. But the reason I think that they thought of redoing that section, they're not going to redo the whole Old Colony. It's going to be, I think, I'll call it the Harwich portion of the Old Colony. It turns out to be 4 miles.
Okay.
And even that, you could say, why not just do the patching? And I would agree. I think that the reason that they're going to repave it all is they're going to change the way that those roads intersect with the highway. So they're going to change the pathway of the. It's not going to be just a repaving project. Let's put it that way. So I think that they said, you know what, we're just going to pave that 4-mile section. So that's my answer.
Okay.
It was just a random
they
thought.
were-
I'm
No,
riding
no,
along here and I
good.
thought, hey,
Because they were gonna do something around, where you said the highway, you meant 124?
Yes, 124 and also Oak Street.
Oh, yep.
To make that more of a
Maybe they'll give
90
us a
degree.
tunnel.
Yeah. So anybody else comments on
So you'll
that?
put the letter, you've got the letter together and you're gonna send it off? with
Yes,
the map.
yeah,
I think I missed the letter. Was it sent out via email or was it
yeah.
shared?
I'll share it with you.
I
And
missed it.
I sent the meeting date to you, and I think I sent it to your new address, okay?
Did you do .org or .com?
I don't know, I'll go back and look
Yeah.
at it.
Because I searched, I didn't see anything, but I could.
Yeah, and I could have
So.
copied it wrong, you know what I mean? So, and I answered you back, but when I answered you back, I answered from my phone and I had made the correction on my computer. So the computer didn't talk to the phone. So I don't want you to think I was ignoring your question, because I wasn't. So,
Fran responded, so we were good. Or
oh,
somebody
okay, so somebody did.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad they did, and I'll recheck that with you. And I would just pull up my phone, but it's not on my phone. So I got to change it. This is my first go around on this. I got to figure out a couple mistakes here. So anyway, another issue from old business I had was the J1 safety equipment, and I have not heard back from the lady at Cape Cod Healthcare, and I really don't know of other places to look for funding for that. We can't do the CPC.
No, we found that out.
So
What CPC?
CPC is a fund that is, it comes from,
Community
Community
Preservation Act. It's 3% of your taxes goes into that fund
Oh, really?
to beautify or help.
when you
the
buy a
town.
house and sell a house and all that, so some money goes there. And there's a committee that decide, and there's limitations of what that money can be used for. And so, Paul checked on that for us, and we just couldn't use that to fund that. So while I think it would be great if we had that, I think maybe a letter to Colleen Medeiros. You know,
Maybe.
I will write it
Check
down,
with,
and I can
yeah.
send her a
Could
note.
we maybe think about doing some kind of fundraiser, bike ride in the spring when it's warm enough?
I don't know if by law can we collect money. I don't know if we can
That
at
is
all. I don't
it's
know a lot of the
certainly
parliamentary.
a sticky thing, and
We can get donations, I think, but
Well,
not financial
that's
donations, I
That's what it
don't
would
think.
be.
but
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's,
No response from the lady who did it before, you said? Who was
Yeah.
that? I'm just for the notes.
I don't have her name
Oh, okay,
in my head, but you could just write Cape Cod Healthcare.
okay, that's,
She was a representative from Cape Cod Health. She was a
Okay.
nurse.
okay.
And so I'll try to do the Colleen Medeiros. You want to check on that? I mean,
I'm trying to think of
bike rides are great. You know,
Where would I
you know, if you,
possibly check?
Start with our liaison to the select board, which changed recently. It's now, I forget who it is now. Their name.
Okay,
But we have a new liaison.
it's
I
probably
have
on the
an email.
website, Fred. If you go to the
Okay,
website,
okay.
our liaison is probably there. That's a great place to start, or the town manager, but that's probably a better place.
It's Peter.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Thank
Peter
you.
Vakarski.
Bikearski, okay,
Yeah.
great.
Thank you, Fran.
You know what I'll do, and on my side, I'm gonna check with, Ed McManus. Ed is the one that I received from the Kiwanis Club. Now,
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
know how they get funding or whatever, or he just went and physically bought them through the Kiwanis Club. But I can
Actually,
check
that's
with
a
him.
great source. Rotary
Yeah.
Club as well,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Well, Ed,
yeah.
gave me, I don't know, 35 helmets last year, and I gave it to a guy dealing, the pastor dealing with,
Right.
I think you met him that one morning, Pastor Matt, when we did in May.
Bike ride,
And
yeah.
he ended up, he deals a lot with the J1s.
I mean, that many helmets.
So he
How
kept
many
them.
helmets did you give him? Not there,
About
but
30.
so
About
you're talking,
maybe
that's a lot of
25.
money.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It-
I
it-
mean,
And he couldn't get rid of them for 2
No,
or 3
these-
years
under
until I reached out to
$20,
him.
No. However the source they get them, they do get a pretty good buy on them.
Yeah.
And the lady from the Cape Cod Healthcare had junior helmets mostly,
Oh,
okay? And so they were even maybe a little less too. She did have adults, and I don't know where they got funded. They could have been funded from the hospital, you know.
Yep.
I don't know.
You said
I'll,
helmets you said safety equipment. Are
Yeah.
Lights included in that?
Yes,
Okay.
they had lights and bells and.
And helmets.
And helmets.
Okay. Great.
But I'll check with Ed on the helmet thing.
So, the next section under the agenda is discussing our holiday bonuses.
Absolutely.
Same as last year.
Same thing.
We take it up 5%.
I was thinking we double it.
It's been a tough year.
I think because of the economy, I think we should cut it in half.
But I do have a comment on that could sort of stand as a holiday bonus. I think, I would make a motion that we would, I don't know if you make a motion or how you do it, but I think we should not have a meeting in December and January. Because those 2 months, it's hard to schedule December.
Yeah.
and January is not all that much easier. So maybe, I don't think there's any biking activity happening in December and January. And look for a meeting more like in February or March. I mean, I think, I'd do the 2 months to start
Is
with.
there a requirement that we're supposed to have a?
Not to my understanding,
I thought I saw
yeah.
that somewhere.
I do not believe so. A lot of I think we're one of the few committees that meets on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I agree.
Monthly.
I mean, monthly.
All the committee participants received a manual from the town
Yeah,
about committee responsibilities.
yeah,
So you should look through that
good idea.
I don't know what, I
and
lost
see
mine
what
already.
they say about how many meetings you can cancel.
Okay. I'll take that on, and I mean, I'll send Pete a note and say, hey, we're gonna thinking of taking a,
So that question would go really well with the question about the fundraising.
Okay.
component. So,
Oh, yeah,
like just
yeah,
fire off both at the same time from the same person.
good point.
Yeah, I'll follow up on both those.
you wanna,
Yeah.
okay, just check to see if,
Yeah, requirement.
what would happen if we took a couple of months
2
off.
months off anyway.
So I'm gonna move on to, new business,
And we're not
and,
taking it with pay.
that's right. Our bonus next year might be cut a little bit.
You guys realize there are people watching on YouTube right now who might actually think
you
we're
think-
getting paid or getting a bonus.
you
We're all
think-
being very sarcastic.
Do you think
We're all
anybody's
volunteers.
listening to this?
And when I suggested, well, I mean, we get a lot of page views. Come on. I mean,
Yeah,
we're,
yeah.
we're a bunch of handsome men. There are no bonuses. So when we double, we're doubling zero.
That's right.
It's all, it remains
For
as
the
zero,
record.
yeah.
I'll take that in the notes.
We don't want to get canceled for.
The group is too sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's under 6 figures, so I mean, come on.
So under new business, I just thought because it's kind of a new year, that we should think, I just want to ask if there are concerns anybody has or a direction anybody wants to take that we're not taking now. I know I liked all of Alan's suggestions about bringing in a bigger group maybe, or changing the name to incorporate other uses of that trail.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was all good, so that maybe we should identify that.
I'm going to be speaking to the select board soon,
Okay,
and I'm going to broach the topic in
So-
the presentation.
I can't remember what our charter, is our charter part of it to promote bicycling and pedestrian use? Because if it is,
I
go
was gonna say, I read
Leave
it,
it.
and I don't remember that.
I shared it on a Google Doc with everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where I
But
read it, yeah.
It's going
But
to
it-
the back.
does it seem like that's the case? If that's the case,
It's just a bunch of fluff.
okay.
Yeah,
It
I don't.
needs to be rewritten. It needs to
Yeah.
be shortened.
Okay.
It's,
Who
I
wrote
think it
it?
mainly talks about safety.
It doesn't.
yeah.
Who wrote it?
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't matter.
It was written many
Here's-
years
I
ago.
didn't mean to get us down a rabbit hole on the charter. I'm just saying, I think that part of our charter could be the promotion of outdoor activities, including bicycling and use of the facilities, and that who else in town besides the recreation department would be doing that, and perhaps it would tie in with some sort of fundraiser. I was inspired by, I sent it to all of you, I think, the fellow who died
Yeah.
Yeah,
out in California.
yeah.
And his active role in promoting these events, and I think that perhaps with, it'd be, Alan knows better than anybody here how difficult it is to pull events together. But on the other hand, if there were, I mean, we have the Tour de Barnstable, maybe there's some kind of a Tour de Harwich or some kind of thing that's sort of Harwich or Harwich Chatham, Orleans Brewster, or some kind of thing, kind of in our end corner of the Cape, which could be a fundraiser for things, or for not a fundraiser. I don't know, or regular bike rides. I mean, there's Cape Cod Cycling Club and other activities around, but maybe we could be promoting bicycling.
Yeah. So the town of Dennis raises a lot of funding for the recreation department by organizing their road race.
Okay.
And this is not
There is a
anything new,
road race in
Brewster.
Harwich, isn't
There
there?
are a couple,
Yeah.
but they're organized by the Chamber of Commerce, and
Why is that better or worse?
oh, I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm just saying that they are not organized by a town department,
Oh,
so to speak. Chamber of Commerce is
okay.
it's its own
That's
standalone
right.
thing.
Yeah, like,
But Dennis does, what does Dennis do exactly?
The recreation department, they have the Dennis Road Race, and lots of, across the state, lots of municipalities, recreation departments are organizing events and
I think
fundraising.
you have more than one.
Which, I mean, it's as they should be. That's their mission.
Okay.
But this topic came up earlier this year, I believe, before you joined the committee, where I had proposed that we speak with the select board about expanding the scope and the definition of this committee to be bikeways and pedestrian,
Right.
or cycling, bicycle, and pedestrian committee, because the original charter is very transportation focused and doesn't address recreation whatsoever. And sort of, I think we have been categorized as an extension, or like our liaison is with the transportation department, like the public works side of things. And there's been new life and new activity with the recreation department. They've expanded their staff, and they're expanding the programs, and that's really good to see as a father of 3 little girls in this town. And I think we can come in there and help them with the cycling and the running side of things, which obviously the bike path is the safest place to do all that stuff.
Sure.
So, and I'm not sure if the town has any IDD programs like for intellectually disabled people, but the bike path also offers a really safe place for those people to get out.
Yeah, the Spalding group on
That's for
the Brewsters.
physical handicaps, yes, for sure.
that's for
That's for physical handicaps.
physical, yeah, right.
And so, in any event, I think the scope of this committee is somewhat, I believe, limited, just focusing on transportation, so to speak, or the conditions, the maintenance of the bike path. And as a huge, fitness and sports advocate, I would like us to by definition, have more of a more of a
Who wrote the
responsibility with the
original?
recreation.
Did the town write the original one, or?
I don't know, but it doesn't really
I
matter
think
because we
years
can
ago.
rewrite it. We can rewrite it, and we did
Present it.
rewrite it. And
Yeah,
we can
you-
propose it.
you had a-
It was a transition from one
Yeah.
select liaison to another, and combined with me being gone for 3 months, so I'm back for a few more weeks, and
And then where you going?
I'm gonna nail it down. So it's,
How would we, if that was the consensus of the committee, first of all, question, and then secondly, if that were the case, you did one draft, was it?
I'll share it with you. Yeah, we rewrote it.
I remember that.
Yeah, we went through a couple
Yeah.
versions of it, and the next step is to talk with the select board.
Okay.
And then the select board would, if I understand the process correctly, they would probably do they would have a hearing, sort of. It would be an agenda item for a select board
It's not a
meeting
simple thing, yeah.
about adjusting this.
Yeah.
And who knows? It may be complicated, it may be simple, but until the conversation is started, it's all just speculation.
Yeah.
So.
Make sure you let us know when you're gonna get it
Yeah, yeah.
scheduled.
I reached
into
out.
the,
I reached out to Natasha, and once I hear back, I'll let everybody know
Okay.
when that presentation will be. And I mean, we as a committee have to write that review, right?
Right.
So that's something that presumably should be an agenda item tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was.
And probably can't wait until our next meeting because I suspect that I'll be presenting to them within the
Not
next
only
couple
that,
weeks.
but you're
So-
talking maybe March now.
Well,
Yeah. So the presentation of like what did we do this year,
Is
is not going to include just what we did this year. It's going to include what we talked about, what we want to do going forward.
sure.
And that's really going to be my focus.
Yeah.
I'd rather focus forward, obviously look at what we did and what we learned and what we can bring forward. But I'd really like to talk about how I see this committee's reception and access to broadening its expertise.
But that,
Going
that,
forward,
that would,
2025.
should probably be in the mission statement that we have, or that you created.
Which is the first
Because
step,
then
yeah.
it follows, there's a chronological or whatever.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking
pattern.
about, like having,
Yeah.
sharing the mission statement with them and asking them to
Or-
rewrite or
Yep.
redefine the scope of the committee.
One other thing on that, just as far as intellectually disabled people, I volunteer at Capabilities, and I know they're very involved with, like the police do a thing for a road race. There are some things that I know Capabilities people would be all over that, if there was an interest in that.
Yeah.
I mean, and help.
Yeah.
With that, okay.
Oh, good.
And the police.
I'm gonna lean on you for capabilities. I'm
Okay.
more involved with Best Buddies, but
Oh, okay.
they're,
Okay.
you know,
And I've been a little bit in touch with, I'm trying to remember Shayna's last name. She's trying to put together, she's a special needs teacher for Monomoy. She's trying to put together a special friends cafe, and only for
Yes.
kids who have aged out, but who are capable of running a cash register or whatever, special needs kids.
yeah.
And she's trying to put a whole program together to set up like a coffee shop and support these kids, and that way they have a purpose. Shayna, I forget Shayna's last
So
name.
this is like a
This
business
is
here in
Harwich.
town,
It hasn't formed
but
yet.
that's what she's trying to do.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
I wanna help her.
And she's a teacher.
Okay, introduce me. I want to help her. do that.
There's nothing in Harwich like the Latham School or anything like that, is there?
I don't think so.
No, yeah, Special
I
Friends
don't think
Cafe. Trying to find a site is the biggest thing, and trying to figure out, she's been probably involved for 6-9 months, trying to put together enough monies to provide a core plan to be able to pay these kids and pay people.
That's
And
cool.
that's a big hurdle that she's up against right now. So,
Doesn't that come out of the educational budget or something?
Oh, this sounds like it would be completely separate. I think
don't-
it sounds like it, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like an entrepreneurial,
correct. Even though
Project
she's
that's-
teaching, this will
just
be a
happens to be-
whole different.
She
yeah, it just
to be
happens to be
teacher.
led by a teacher.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, exactly.
Good. I think that's
so you picked
a good focus to continue on that
Yeah.
project,
Yeah.
and the way you talked about it being in the discussion, that's going to be the perfect lead in, and we'll know where we need to go next.
And there's a lot of precedent. Most of the other towns here in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Cape,
yeah.
that's how they're structuring their.
Yeah,
That's
wow,
how these
yeah.
committees were structured.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Well, I think I'm gonna move that, we set the date for the next meeting is February 18th. Fred is gonna talk to Pete, Mr. Bikeways, I should say. And
Find out.
if there's a change, I'll let everybody know through email.
I don't want to throw a wrench in your plans, but if you could have the meeting on February 11th, there's a very high likelihood I can attend in person because I'm in the country for that prior weekend. I'm definitely going to be back in Europe on February 18th, but there's a very high chance that I'll be still in the country on the 11th.
Is that a Monday?
No, I think that's a Tuesday. So the 8th or the 9th is Super Bowl Sunday, right? I think it's the 9th, the
It's
Super Bowl
irrelevant
Sunday.
in New England.
Well, not if you're the organizer of the largest
presumptuous.
Super Bowl Sunday road race in New England. But,
Could be a miracle there.
So I think Super Bowl Sunday is February 9th. So the 11th is probably a Tuesday.
Tuesday, it is.
All right.
18th was.
So yeah, I can't promise I'll be here, but there's a high likelihood.
Well, let's just set it
And
up for that
I can
day.
call
I'm
in.
definitely here
I'll be
that
in
Sunday,
Florida.
that week before.
Okay.
God willing that
Yeah.
my wife stays healthy this year.
Yeah, you'll be in
I'll be in
Florida.
Florida,
Thank you.
but I can call.
So I would
So-
like to attend in person. And
So
then
the 11th, 1 o'clock, you like that? Is that, we'll stay at that.
yeah, that works.
Everybody likes 1 o'clock?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like 1:15,
All right.
just to be different.
You'll have to schedule that with whomever, with Carolyn or.
do I just
Caleb?
send you like a minute, or my agenda with the date that we're having the meeting on?
You send it to agenda@harwich-ma.gov.
And it's your, or
It's
no,
usually my responsibility to post it.
okay, and did you get mine for this meeting?
I believe,
Yeah, okay.
If it was posted, then I probably posted it.
I don't know if it was posted.
And,
I sent it in, I think I sent it to you.
You're here.
I looked up on the website, I said, oh yeah, that's where I need to send it.
yeah, I think I posted.
Okay,
Speaking
so
of,
I know how to do it then. We're good.
speaking of posted, I'm supposed to post the minutes.
Yeah, of
Paul,
last that we approved.
Yeah, so, you sent me a thing. I think I've
Yeah,
got it. If I don't, I'll go back to you.
Do, I think it's minutes, something. If you can't find it,
Okay, I'll look.
come to me.
But I'll post these.
That way that'll get posted. Actually, I think Caleb posts them afterwards.
Okay.
I do have, just afterwards you're done, tidbit of information. Don't know if it's going anywhere. I sent a personal note, not from this group. Somebody had a bad fall on the, friend of mine had a bad fall on the Old Colony Rail Trail. And yeah, she
Where
fell.
was it?
Between the Rotary and 124. You know,
That,
it's a couple of
the
real
bumpy
bad ones,
section,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's an avid walker, 82, but avid walker, had just had her knee replaced.
She
She's,
wasn't
she's back
biking.
walking again. I mean, not, well, maybe 6 months ago, but she's hustling. And she fell flat on her face. I mean, messed up her left arm, cut her head,
Just from
chipped
walking?
a tooth.
Just
She
walking?
kind of went, if you think about it, she went face first.
Yeah.
So I sent a personal note, not blaming anyone, nothing, to Link, and said, hey, you know, and I told him, I understand it's gonna get repaved in a couple, 3 years or so on and so forth. I can't remember all my details. And he said he would have Brian look at it. I promoted a short-term solution being the grinding that happened like in Falmouth. And I says, I don't know if anybody's got any equipment. It might be, you probably could do it relatively very quickly.
Well, was
Just
that-
to grind.
is that
It
why
ain't
she
fixing,
fell?
and I said, it isn't fixing this.
Is that why she
problem.
fell though? She tripped over one of those.
One of the
Roots or
heaves,
something?
one of the root heaves. It just lost her balance completely, and her arm is still in a sling. And so I sent a personal note out to him, and he said Brian was going to look into it this week. Whether anything gets done, I don't know. But at least,
How, does she know that you were sharing this with them?
yes,
And would she be willing to,
go present it or to some.
or to just meet with me on video?
Probably not. She's a very private person.
Okay.
But that's why I asked her if I could share a letter to Link. And-
Because you guys saw, I mean, you remember the photos I sent of my friend's daughter.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, it's gonna be the second or third talking point when I present to the select board. And now it's not just gonna be about my friend's daughter, it's gonna be about a resident. She's a resident of Harwich,
Oh, yeah, she lives.
82
she's
years
on-
old.
You
Yeah,
could
she
use
lives
my
right
arms in a
across the
sling and she
street
chipped
from
a tooth.
you know,
Yeah.
but, you know, yeah, she's a very private person.
She's-
She doesn't share
The
anything.
town's pretty lucky that it sounds like she's not a
You
very
can- you can-
litigious person.
You can use information from the fall that I had too. I don't.
Was it on the Old Colony Rail Trail you fell?
No, it was on the. It was in Orleans.
I remember you took a
I
bad
forgot
one.
about that.
Hmm.
But I mean,
Really sorry to hear that.
it was
Yeah,
pretty serious.
and she's, you know, dealing with it. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, it's not,
It's too bad.
I saw somebody trip. She didn't go down, but she almost went down on that exact same stretch 2 weeks ago. I'm on that stretch almost every single day I'm in Harwich. So, and I usually just ride on the road because it's,
yep.
Yeah, 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 I do
So,
too.
don't know if he actually copied Brian part of DPW, and said, have Brian check it out this week. So I don't know if that'll happen or not,
I forget.
but I think it will.
Well, thank you for writing the letter.
Yeah.
Is-
Yeah,
yes.
and it was, I didn't want to, it had nothing to do with, it had something to do with the OCRT, but not with the,
Is,
biking at all.
is there anybody that keeps track of accidents?
No,
Sort of.
I think, what was it? We went through that about 6, 9, maybe a year ago or so, and unless it's something like unless the ambulance is called or something
But I
like
think
that,
that,
it's
I
not
think that
posted. She called her husband,
the,
come pick me
whoever
up.
runs the other one, what is that, the recreation department that runs the big bike path?
Yep.
Yeah. the
DCR, Department of
DCR.
Conservation and
Yeah,
Recreation.
they keep track of stuff
They
like
do.
that.
So-
For them, but
Well-
not for us.
So it's interesting. Which brings me to that topic. Is Fran still on the line?
Yes.
So whatever came of, you had emailed us a few weeks ago saying that Kathleen Walker had cited a number of fatalities, like a shockingly high number of fatalities. And I responded immediately saying, I find this hard to believe. Maybe it's like injuries or falls, but certainly not fatalities. Did you follow up and get any clarification on that?
The data was given out by the Cape Cod Commission, and it was from 2018, I believe, to current. And these were their statistics, how they got through how they got all these figures. I haven't a clue, but you could ask Colleen.
Okay.
You get her
How many
email.
were there?
Yeah, I'll call Colleen and get clarification on that.
How many
Kathleen
It was-
how many were there?
at the number.
I don't remember the
There's a
number.
map that if you look at
Huh?
that,
Oh, that map, right. That was fatalities?
Well, it couldn't have been.
It couldn't have been.
It was wrong.
Because we
It was
would
serious
have, we would
That
have.
was just accidents.
Probably.
Probably.
And I forget where that map, it's on here.
Yeah.
It's in,
and their
It's on the Cape Cod
Vision Zero
Commission website.
Yes, that's right.
Vision Zero thing.
oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember now the name.
Well, do we want to adjourn the meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
I move we adjourn.
And we didn't talk about the Christmas party.